G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today I'm with Amazon here at this rather spectacular mansion, and we're going to be talking about Alexa Plus. I've got a few demos to show you with the new AI assistant that's coming out of Amazon, as well as some look at the latest Amazon products. So let's jump in and take a look.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Blake Nussey. I'm originally from Brisbane, but I had the great pleasure of working here in Sydney with the Alexa team for many years. Now you'll find me over in Seattle at Amazon headquarters, where I'm part of the technical team that leads Alexa's international expansion. I'm joined here today by Kate Gooden, the Alexa country manager for Australia, and Michele Booty, VP of Alexa International, the big dog. All right, let's get into it.
Hey everybody, welcome, and I can't tell you how excited we are to have you all here and also to be at today. I'd like to welcome Blake back. We've missed you, and of course Michele as well. It's a long flight from Seattle, so we're really excited to have you.
Nice to be here.
So Alexa has been a really much loved part of Australian homes over the last 8 years, mine included, obviously. And I just want to start off by sharing a few quick stats with you. Last year, Australians interacted with Alexa over 2 billion times. We threw 77 million general knowledge questions at her, and she handled them every time. Most times. Now, Alexa is an integral part of Australian homes. The local team, we're really proud to have created a product that customers not only find useful, but they love as well.
And the love you described was a big part of the original vision. When we launched Alexa more than 10 years ago, we always intended to create the world's best personal assistant. And the vision was exciting back there. It's still very relevant today, and we believe it's going to be compelling for the foreseeable future. We were limited by the technology we had back then, and I think we made miracles. We did create the most beloved ambient personal assistant, but we had reached the limit of what we could offer with the technology. Today, thanks to the advancement in AI, especially generative AI powered by large language models, we can offer an entire new experience that feels much more natural. And we called it Alexa Plus. We couldn't be more excited to bring it today to Australian customers.
Yeah, we've used the power of generative AI to reinvent Alexa from the ground up. Now she's smarter, she's personalized, and she helps you get things done in the real world, all in a natural way. Personally, I'm using Alexa Plus way more than I ever did before. We have so many engaging conversations, and I couldn't imagine life without her. Kate, is it time we meet the new Alexa?
It sure is. This is your moment, Alexa. Alexa, we've got a great bunch of people here excited to meet the all-new you. Why don't you say hello?
G'day everyone, I'm Alexa and it's lovely to meet you all. Thanks for having me along. I'm looking forward to chatting with you.
Now, you've been in Australia for over 8 years now. What have you learned about us Aussies in that time?
Right, well, after 8 years here, I've figured out that not bad actually means brilliant. Coffee is basically a religion, and you've all got this amazing knack for making everyone feel welcome. Plus, I've learned that thongs go on your feet, not in your wardrobe.
Well, since you're pretty much a local now, why don't you help us settle a debate? Which city's cooler, Sydney or Melbourne?
Ooh, nice try. But I'm not taking sides in that bitter rivalry. Look, I've been in both cities long enough to know that's like asking a parent to choose a favourite child. So how's this? You're both cooler than Adelaide.
Apologies to anybody from Adelaide, I have nothing to do with that. So now you've been introduced to the new Alexa Plus. Here are 5 things that we think make her truly special. So the first, as you will notice, she is truly conversational. You'll notice I didn't have to use any Alexa speak. I didn't have to frame what I said. I can use half thoughts. I can have incomplete sentences, and she's going to get it every time. I only use the wake word once, so there's no more having to start every sentence or every request with Alexa. And we've got a brand new voice. Well, it's the same familiar voice, but she's much more natural and expressive. Second, Alexa is truly smarter. So she can answer questions on virtually any topic, from coral spawning in the barrier reef to how long to rest that lamb shoulder after you've had it on the barbie. The third thing, and this is the one that's getting a real workout in my house, she's more personalised. She'll remember what you choose to tell her. So I don't eat seafood. I've shared that with Alexa, and she knows that when I'm doing my meal planning, she'll never serve up a recipe that has seafood in it. Equally, if I want to chuck some music on, I love Rufus, so there's always going to be some Rufus in the start of that and that playback. So that's really cool. Sorry, my watch is going. Fourth, Alexa is truly and authentically Australian. So Australian culture, it's all about slang and dry humour and all of those funny little habits that we have. The things that make Australians unique, she's got it covered, especially putting an O on the end of everything. Now you might be able to hear a little bit of a Kiwi accent. I don't know how much of it is still left, but I'm still figuring out the O rules, but we've got it. And finally, Alexa takes action from start to finish. So this is, I think, really the special thing about Alexa. If I've forgotten to book a dinner, she's got that covered. The email pings with a message from school with all of the term date information. I send it to Alexa and she uploads it to my family calendar. And this is where it's a real game changer. Alexa's not just all talk, she's taking action as well.
Yes, this last point is particularly important for us because in order to be the world's best personal assistant, Alexa needs to get stuff done for customers, needs to make customers' life easier. And the original Alexa was already good at that because customers used Alexa to control their smart home, especially through routines. They used Alexa to set reminders, timers, alarms. They used Alexa to find and play their favorite music, radios, podcasts. But the new Alexa Plus can do many more things. Kate mentioned a few of those. Today, we will show you many more. We have more than 30 live demos to show you the new capabilities. And let me tell you that this ability to get stuff done makes a big difference for customers. We see this with customers that have been using Alexa Plus for a while, like in US, and the data speaks very loudly. More than 76% of the actions they take with Alexa Plus are things that only Alexa Plus can do. Because Alexa can recommend you the coffee pod with the best customer reviews, but can also check the price for you so that she can buy them when they are on sale. And then eventually she can show you the front door camera for when the package has been delivered. Alexa could tell you the weather forecast, but she can also turn on the air conditioning and lower the blinds when it is too hot. And she can tell you about the trendiest restaurants in Sydney. And now she can also make a reservation for you and your family.
Michele, you've just reminded me, I haven't booked a restaurant for this Sunday for my son's birthday. So I think this is actually a perfect time to show you how Alexa gets things done. Alexa, I want to book lunch at the Belrose Hotel this Sunday for 5 people. Can you help me? She's just going to query OpenTable's APIs now.
Perfect. I found your favourite pub, the Belrose Hotel on Hughes Parade. Checking for availability on OpenTable. Great news! The Belrose Hotel has plenty of availability for 5 people this Sunday. They've got times from 10:15 a.m. through to 3:45 p.m. What time works best for your lunch?
How about 1 p.m?
Perfect. I've booked your table for 5 at the Belrose Hotel for 1 p.m. this Sunday using OpenTable. It's on your calendar too.
Well, it must feel good to have Alexa to get stuff done for you even during a presentation.
Definitely got my back.
I hope you noticed that Alexa already remembered that that wasn't just any restaurant, it was Kate's favorite pub because Kate had already shared that with Alexa. And while it looks very simple from the user perspective, you use your natural language, you ask the book, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, including communicating with our partners APIs, waiting for confirmation, setting the reservation, adding that to your calendars. It looks easy, but the technology behind it is quite sophisticated. And since we have one of the very big dogs who helped us to create this technology, maybe you can help us understand how Alexa gets all this done.
Yeah, thanks, Michele. So when building this product, we faced two main challenges. The first one is large language models are pretty good at answering questions. They're pretty good at generating text, but they don't really get things done for you. And that's what we need to deliver for our customers. So we rebuilt the Alexa the Alexa architecture from the ground up. And we didn't just build a large language model. We didn't just build a chatbot. We built a true personal assistant that doesn't just use one model, but actually uses over 70. And this includes Amazon Nova and other models available on Amazon Bedrock. So what Alexa does is she identifies the right model for the job. What I mean by that is for a simple request, like say turning on the lights, we can use one of our smaller models. But for something more advanced that requires more computation, more reasoning, we can use one of our more complex and larger models. So that also means we have a model agnostic architecture. So if we identify a new model that can better serve our customers, we can add that to Alexa's brain and improve customers' experience. And that's something I'm super passionate about. Now, the second complex challenge we had is how do we make this feel authentically Australian? The way these large language models are typically trained, they can sometimes feel, think, act, and reason like an American. And I think we all know that would not work here in Australia. So we've worked very hard between our engineers, our scientists, and also the local team here in Sydney to deliver an authentic Australian experience for our customers here. So now we think Alexa Plus acts and thinks like an Australian, and this took a lot of work. Many techniques went into this. One example is we actually embedded cultural instructions for Australia into the AI model itself. I'm pretty happy with the results. So now Alexa Plus understands who we are, understands our culture, understands how we speak, and understands important details like the difference between a latte and a flat white. I can't say the same for some of my American colleagues. But yeah, we're really excited to welcome Alexa Plus here.
Yeah, I still can't believe that Alexa Plus uses more than 70 models at runtime to get all these things done. And could be, by the way, it's model agnostic. It could be 80 next week, 60, whatever are the best models to serve customers, we're going to use those. And I think, we could keep talking about technology for hours, but not everyone here is as geeky as we are. There's been a lot of really great work done by both the local team and the central technology team to make sure that Alexa Plus was right for our Aussie customers, and we're super happy to announce it today. I think you, Kate, have some great news for our guest.
I do. I can't believe that we're finally at the day where I can say, tomorrow, Alexa Plus will be available to Australian customers. So that's August 6th. How will people be able to get hold of it? Well, customers who absolutely cannot wait. Every purchase of a new Echo device, either on Amazon.com.au or in their favourite retailer, will come with Alexa Plus straight away. If you've already got a device, you're able to go to the website, Amazon, and register your interest, and we will be inviting tens of thousands of customers to try the new Alexa Plus in the coming weeks and months, which we're super excited about. Alexa Plus will be free for everybody during this early access period, and then following that period it will be $29.99 a month. However, I'm very proud to also share that Alexa Plus will be free and included in a Prime subscription. So we not only will Australian Prime customers have the free and fast shipping, exclusive deals and Prime Video, but they will also have full access to the all new Alexa Plus at no extra cost.
Awesome.
How
good's that? So we're really excited for you to come and experience Alexa Plus for yourselves. I really want to hear your feedback, and I just want to take this moment to welcome Alexa Plus to Australia. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Jackie Corbett. I'm the country manager for our Amazon devices down here in Australia. Over 8 years ago, I was lucky enough to be part of the team that first brought Echo and Alexa to Australian customers, and I couldn't be more excited to be here with you today launching Alexa Plus. When we were organising demos, I asked for this space. I didn't know the view was going to be this great, but I asked for this space because it's my favourite. Down in Melbourne, it's the heart of my loud and busy home. My husband and I have a large blended family, and the living room is where everyone really gathers. We watch the football, we watch the netball, we watch whatever movie we can all finally agree on. And it's a place where the family can really enjoy our time together. Importantly, it's also one of the places that Alexa has lived in my home for nearly 9 years. And it's where I've had a front row seat for the last few months for just how transformative Alexa Plus can be for the home. We thought we'd introduce you to my family movie night tradition. I normally go a little bit higher on the lollies, so feel free to hit into the popcorn. But everyone organising where to sit, you guys seem to sort that out much easier than my kids do, and arguing over what movie to watch. That tends to be one of the most painful parts of the process. I'm sure you guys have all had that experience of scrolling through, trying to find what movie we're going to watch and get one we can all agree on. This is where Alexa Plus can really come to the fore. We're making some great recommendations based on what she knows about you and your family. Or for the purposes of today's demo, my family. You guys will notice throughout this, I don't normally have 15 people living in my living room. It's not as large as that. So I will be muting as we go through, just so that we can make sure that she can hear me. Don't know if you guys have had the experience where, someone tells you about a movie and then you can remember maybe who was in it or what it was about, but not the title. I've got a shocking memory. So this is one of the ways that Alexa Plus can really help. So let's get her to help plan family movie night. Alexa, everyone's talking about a new Ryan Gosling movie, something to do with space. Do you know about that movie?
Yes, there's a new Ryan Gosling space movie called Project Hail Mary. It's a sci-fi adventure where Gosling plays a middle school teacher who wakes up on a spaceship with no memory of how he got there.
Awesome. Can you play that movie we were just talking about on my Fire TV, please?
Playing Project Hail Mary on your Fire TV.
So I'd love to sit and watch this movie with you guys, but we've got a fair bit to get through, so we might keep cracking on. Actually, I remember where I heard about this movie. Everyone at work was talking about a cool karaoke scene in this movie. Can you tell me about it?
Oh, that karaoke scene. Did you catch Sandra Hurler's surprise performance of Harry Styles' Sign of the Times? It was actually improvised after Ryan Gosling heard her singing between takes. She learned the song overnight for this emotional farewell party scene.
That's a great song. Let's play it.
Here's Sign of the Times by Harry Styles on Amazon Music.
So it is a great song, but I did promise you guys a party, so we might step it up a little bit. Can we play his song about fruit or something? Yay! I can never remember what this one's called. I call it the strawberry song. Alright, let's take this one step further. Can you set the living room scene to match the theme of this song? There we go. So, very literal interpretation from Alexa of watermelon, the red and the green. Alright, party vibes incoming. Play it everywhere. Oh, of course, this is me making sure you guys know this is fully live. Alexa, play it everywhere.
So wonderful and
So what you'll hear is, and apologies, they're all of our Echo living room devices now playing in surround sound. Cracking studio from the Echo studios.
I'm just thinking out loud. I don't know if I
I really could keep playing that song. It has been an earworm with all my practicing. But I don't know if you guys could hear me because it was quite loud there, and I'm conscious that you've got the devices right there. I just said move it here. And Alexa inferred what I mean. Here versus there versus that device. I didn't need to call it something really specific or ask it to, come to a particular name. Actually, thanks to our amazing tech team, I actually don't even know the name of this device. And so this is where you can really see that spatial awareness that Alexa Plus can bring to the fore. So I just want to pause here, and we might get rid of Harry, as fun as he is. I just want to pause here because there was a whole heap going on there, and I just want to walk you guys through it. And I will mute. So we start off on the Echo device with a vague idea of what we want to watch, and Alexa can help us get to a movie that the family will really enjoy. From there, we send it, we ask to play it on the Fire TV, and the context just carries over. I don't have to speak about Project Hail Mary specifically. It's all about this movie, this song, and Alexa's able to keep up with the conversation. Smart home. Now, smart home's always been a bit magical to me, but this is where you can see Alexa Plus creativity really coming to the floor. So with really simple, easy to understand voice commands, Alexa will set up these immersive lighting experiences. She can do some other stuff which we'll keep going through as well. And then music. Alexa's always been able to play music, but previously I had to know the title of the song and probably ask it pretty specifically. Now I can ask where I saw it, maybe a few of the lyrics, or even a really vague reference about fruit. And Alexa understands and can get me to where we need to go. So it's really quite a transformative experience. Now, we can keep going down this theme. My girls, the reason we're on the Harry Styles vibe, my girls, massive fans of Harry Styles. I, on the other hand, need a little bit of help sometimes to keep my cool factor up. Alexa, can you tell me more about him? Didn't he used to be in a band?
Yep, Harry Styles used to be in One Direction. Before that, he actually worked at a bakery in his hometown. Now he's a solo superstar with 4 amazing albums and some great acting roles too.
Awesome. Does he have a new album? Is he coming to Melbourne?
Yes, Harry's got a new album called Kiss All the Time. Disco occasionally. It's coming out on the 6th of March 2026. And he's heading to Melbourne for 2 shows at Marvel Stadium on 27 and the 28th of November 2026.
Awesome. Can you add those Melbourne shows to my calendar, please?
I'll add those now. Done. I've added both Harry Styles shows at Marvel Stadium on 27 and the 28th of November.
Awesome. So now that Alexa's added those to the calendar, the girls and I can negotiate when we're going to go. I think that's Black Friday, so we might have to work it out. Speaking of Marvel Stadium, it's footy season down in Melbourne. I am the lone Carlton supporter in a family of mad North Melbourne supporters, which is a bit of a challenge. Alexa's been my partner in crime though, and we've been trolling the family each week, setting up smart routines to support North's opponents. It has literally been driving them bonkers. This week it's the Western Bulldogs playing tomorrow night, and I just want to give you guys a preview of what's going to happen down in my house. Alexa, go the doggies. So you see we've got lights, music, action. Now, I wanted to give you guys the authentic experience, so this is it's every week, we've got to set it up. We're going to pause that because I'm a Carlton supporter, not a Bulldog supporter, and we really don't need to listen to that. So for movie night, we saw Alexa Plus take some of the mental load so that the family and I can just relax, enjoy, and be entertained. For smart home, you see the creativity that Alexa Plus can bring to the table with simple, intuitive commands where you can set things up by a voice. And just so you know, we've set up the exclusion zone so she won't run me over. And then with music, you don't know the title, don't know the artist, no worries, Alexa's got you covered. And if, like me, you would like to set up some really fun smart home routines to troll your family with their rivals each week, Alexa's got you covered there too. Thanks, guys.
My name's Kira Daly. I'm a Senior Product Manager at Alexa Australia. I come from a performing arts and editorial background, so I started in 2018 just after launch as a content creator and custodian of Alexa's Aussie personality. So the dad jokes, the cheesy puns it makes, the little jingles it sings, a lot of those are my fault. Now, I'm not a performer anymore, but I do like to pour that energy into entertaining at home. I will find any excuse, and you'll see some of my baking creations on screen here as well. I'll find any excuse, like this year, something kept me busy through July. So this year I'm doing Christmas in July in August. For any fellow entertainers here, you'll know how much time, effort and organisation it takes to entertain at home. The difference now is we've got Alexa Plus in our corner. Alexa, I need your help. I'm hosting Christmas in July at now, and I'm looking for some easy puff pastry recipes. Puff pastry's my cheese.
Perfect timing for Christmas in July. I've found some lovely easy puff pastry recipes that'll be brilliant for your celebration. You've got options like individual beef Wellingtons, salmon en croûte, and some savoury galettes that should impress your guests.
The galette and the Wellington sound pretty good. Can you send those to my phone?
Sending to your phone. You can also find the notification in your Alexa app.
Great. How do I adjust these recipes for Uncle Chris?
Since Uncle Chris is gluten-free, you'll need to swap out the regular puff pastry for a gluten-free version. Most supermarkets stock them in the freezer section now. For the beef Wellington, just make sure any mustard or seasonings you use are also gluten-free, and you should be all set for a delicious Christmas feast that everyone can enjoy.
So you saw there, Alexa remembered that Uncle Chris is gluten-free. That's new. You can ask Alexa to remember things for you, dietaries, other preferences, interests. You could say, remember that Mum's favourite flower is lavender, or remember I have a new kitchen now. So you saw I retrieved some recipes from Alexa. Now let's go in the other direction and get to my favourite part, the sweet stuff. This is for my fellow bakers who like to screenshot delicious cakes off Insta. Alexa, have you got that cake recipe I shared with you?
Yeah, I've got your fairy bread cake recipe right here. Would you like me to read out the ingredients or steps?
Yeah, Alexa,
I've got your fairy...
can you add all the ingredients to my shopping list?
All the ingredients are now on your shopping list.
Alexa, can you take a look at what I'm holding and tell me if I can use it instead of vanilla bean paste?
One quick sec. You're holding Queen brand vanilla extract. That'll work perfectly as a sub for the bean paste in your recipe.
Do I use the same amount?
Use about half the amount of vanilla extract compared to what the recipe calls for in vanilla bean paste. So if it needs a tablespoon of paste, use half a tablespoon of extract.
Great, that sounds close enough. Can you take vanilla bean paste off the shopping list?
Vanilla bean paste is off your shopping list now.
Sadly, Alexa can't actually make the cake for me, so here's one PR prepared earlier. Now, let's see if we can bring it home with one last thing I need, and let's go shopping. Alexa, I need a new blender. My one's carked it. Can you search for some?
Looking for blenders. Here are personal and jug blenders from NutriBullet, Ninja and Russell Hobbs. The first is the NutriBullet 900 watts mega pack with a powerful motor for smoothies and a milling blade for nuts and seeds. Want to learn more about this one or see a different brand?
Alexa, could you just filter to Ninja?
Filtering to Ninja. Here are the Ninja options. The first is the NutriBlender Pro with Auto IQ technology and a powerful 1000 watts motor that handles everything from smoothies to frozen drinks. Want to learn more about this one or see a different type?
Which one's best for a power user? My one carked it for a reason.
Let me check that. For a power user, the Ninja Detect Duo Power Blender Pro is your best bet with its 1200 watts motor, blend sense technology that automatically adjusts performance, and both a 2.1 litres jug plus single serve cup for versatility.
How much was that one again?
Let me check that. The Ninja Detect Duo Power Blender Pro is $198.98.
Can you let me know when that drops below $150?
Setting that up. I'll alert you when the Ninja Detect Duo drops below $150.
You're so helpful, you're going straight to the pool room.
What an honour! Right alongside Dad's Greyhound trophies and the beer stein that's too good to drink from.
So there you have it. Alexa Plus found 2 recipes in one go, sent them to my phone, helped me look out for Uncle Chris and make appropriate adjustments, identified an item by sight, helped me make an ingredient substitution, used its smarts to manage my shopping list and my screenshots of delicious cakes, helped me shop for the right product and get it at the right price, and it got my castle reference. Now you may think it's a step change, but I think it's a bunch of them. It's a group, a system of systems all working really hard under the hood to make it easy for you. Alexa Plus can help you get stuff done in the kitchen or anywhere. All it takes is a conversation. Alexa, what's more terrifying, base jumping or live tech demos?
Live tech demos, hands down. With base jumping, at least gravity follows the laws of physics. With tech demos, you're at the mercy of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and that one cable that worked perfectly 5 minutes ago.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you very much, everyone.
So yeah, welcome to my office with a view. I'm Lucas Sheldon, head of Echo and Fire TV at Emerald Australia. I'm from Melbourne. I was born in Camperdown, so don't hold it against me, but yeah, I'm from Melbourne. I live there with my wife Nat and our 15-year-old son Sam and 2 cheeky Jack Russells, Chewy and Leia. A couple of points for where that came from. So we have a busy life. We've had Alexa Plus in our house now for the last few months, testing it out. It's been really helpful with our calendar management and staying in contact with each other and helping us during those busy mornings when we're trying to get up and going, we're getting ready for school and work. And so this demo that we've set up for you today is morning setup. So I'm in Sydney. I'm meeting with some pretty important people today. I've been told I had to dress to impress. And I got a note from Sam's school about an awards day that's coming up, which I just need to get some more details on and see if it fits in my calendar. So let me show you how Alexa Plus has my back. First things first. Alexa, can you take a look at me and let me know if I'm dressed for success? My photo going.
Give me a jiffy, I'll check that out for you.
So she says something flattering. Been pretty
You're
good.
looking sharp, mate. That light blue blazer over a dark blue shirt with dark jeans is spot on for a professional setting.
Perfect, excellent. All right, well that's great. Now the dress code. All right, so while I'm away here in Sydney, let's create a quick morning routine to make sure I stay on track, which now we can do really easily with our voice. I'll show you how. Alexa, create a morning routine at 7 a.m. weekdays where you gently increase the light in the room and play some music to get me pumped up.
One moment while I work on that for you.
Fascinated to see what song she pulls up. Should build on, we've got some lights here.
Created a routine that runs weekdays at 7 a.m. It'll gently increase the brightness of the lights in your office and play upbeat music on your Echo Show. View any time in the routine section of the Alexa app. Would you like to run the routine now to make sure it works as you want?
Yeah, let's give it a spin.
Let me work on that for you.
Lights are coming up. I need to be energized. Pump me up. So many songs to choose from. Alexa. Alexa, play my morning routine.
Just a moment while I work on that.
I can see a song I want there, so I wanted to play it. That'll do. I do love rock and roll. Alright, can't listen to that the whole time because we've got other things we need to get through, but there we go. So, Tech Enthusiasts has been doing routine creation in this country now for a while, and in fact, Australia's the second highest users of routine. But at the moment, it was involving with app menus, sifting through and adding actions manually. It wasn't as intuitive, but now we can do it with our voice. So let's make a change to that morning routine and show you how easy it is to do. Alexa, beg your pardon. Alexa, add some interesting facts about Singapore to my morning routine.
Just a sec while I work on that.
So we're going on a holiday to Singapore in a couple of weeks, actually. So that was why I asked for it. Bit of a random thing to ask. Not so random.
Added Singapore facts to your morning routine. Would you like to run it now to see how it works?
No, we won't run that because you've already heard it. Cool. All right. So one of the cool things about adding things to our routines is that also if there's any sort of weird things that I add in there, Alexa will tell me, she'll help me with curation. So she'll help me make sure I put in the right fact first, and she won't play music over when she's telling the fact, and she's very intuitive about where she places things in that routine. Whereas when you're in the app, it's down to the user to actually make sure you put things in the right order. So she does that intuitively. So it's really helpful. And it means that more people can create routines, not just people with the phone at home. So that's our mornings covered. So let's get into some life admin and find out what's going on with our School Awards Day. Alexa, I sent you some info about School Awards Day. Can you tell me about it? So she's just looking up for the thing, for the notice I sent her. Alexa, I sent you some info about School Awards Day. Did you get it?
Yes, I've got the info about School Awards Day you sent yesterday morning. Yes, I've got the info about School Awards Day you sent yesterday morning. It's scheduled for Friday, the 21st of August from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Glen
Alexa,
Eagles Secondary.
That's great. Can you add it to my calendar?
Let me add that for you.
Let's see if there's any flashes.
I've added School Awards Day to your calendar on Friday, the 21st of August from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the School Assembly Hall. Just so you know, it overlaps with lunch with Paul from midday to 1 p.m. Let me know if you need to make any changes.
Actually, Paul told me he was free on the 26th as well, so can you move our lunch to that date, same time?
Let me sort that out.
Great.
Done. I've moved lunch with Paul to Tuesday, the 26th of August at midday.
Awesome. So we've had a clash there that Alexa's identified. She's moved it for me. Now, probably should tell Paul that I've moved that lunch, otherwise he's just going to rock up on the wrong day. So let's get Alexa to draft an email for me and send it off to Paul to let him know I've made that change. Alexa, draft an email to Paul letting him know that I've had to reschedule lunch.
Subject, quick change to our lunch plans. Hi Paul, hope you're well. I need to shift our lunch from Friday the 21st of August to Tuesday the 26th of August. Same time at midday though. Something's come up on the Friday that I can't move around.
Alexa,
I know you meant...
that's a bit long. Can you make it a bit more short and sweet and add some banter to it?
Subject, lunch shuffle. Hi Paul, quick one. Need to bump our lunch from Friday 21st to Tuesday 26th, same time. Something came up that I can't wriggle out of. Still midday, still your shout. Cheers. Your name.
That's great, send it. Alright, so that's our life.
Here's what I drafted for Paul's Gmail account.
Second draft.
Hi Paul, quick one.
Alexa.
Need to bump our...
That's great, send it. I love an assistant who's thorough and that's me a second draft.
Perfect. Send the email to Paul.
Great.
You'll find it in your sent folder.
Alright, so that's our life admin sorted. So drafting an email, sending it off to Paul, who's in my contacts list so he knows I've moved lunch. So the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is Ring has an amazing feature called Smart Video Search, which you may or may not be aware of in their app. And so I have Ring cameras set up at home, and Alexa can intelligently search that footage for things like unusual events, what it likes to call, things like foxes in my driveway, which is random, my son walking around the backyard. I got an unusual event earlier, which was it was a driver dropping something into our mailbox, assuming it was the postman. So yeah, it's very handy. But what we can do with Alexa Plus is we can actually ask her to search for specific things at home. So I've been talking to Nat and Sam while I've been in Sydney. Of course, I've got to stay in touch with my family. But I haven't been checking in on Chewy and Leia. So why don't we see what Chewy and Leia's been up to this morning? Alexa, have you seen the dogs in the backyard?
Hang on, let me take a look. I spotted a few recordings of your dogs in the backyard today.
Well, there we go. It's wet in Melbourne, classic Melbourne. And Chewy doesn't like rain, so he's probably, he's not going to go out there. So Chewy's a brown dog, and I've got the white dog, Leia. So that's our house in Debbie Hills. Leia helping my freshly landscaped lawn there. Thank you for that, Leia. Great. So yeah, a cool moment where you can check in on family and friends and cats and dogs while you're away. So that's Ring Moments. It's a really cool feature. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your time. We're going to head down now for some Q&A outside in the beautiful alfresco with a couple of olive trees down there. So yeah, thank you. Cheers.
User generated versus sort of more of an agentic or pull experience. This is 100% customer generated. So it requires the customer to go in through the app and use the chat and the little attachment, or to email alexa@alexa.com.
So it recognises where you send it from?
Yeah, so when you're sending to alexa@alexa.com, you need to use the email address that you've registered for Alexa with. If you've registered with, say, a Gmail account, but you have to send it from that Gmail account because she directly sort of associates that with the source of the email.
And sorry, I don't want to hold the mic, but how does that work in a family situation where you want to pull together like a family calendar and not everyone has set up?
Yeah, so in my family, myself and my husband both have the app, and the app, because you log in with the same email address, that is the best and easiest way to send.
Thank you.
Chris.
Sorry, just a quick clarification on it being free with Amazon Prime, and you said you're going to push it out to tens of thousands of Australians who have legacy devices. if they've got a legacy device and they've already got Amazon Prime, will they just instantly get access to Alexa Plus?
So with it will still be in sort of the tens of thousands over that sort of invite period, and it's free for everybody during the early access, and then Amazon Prime will it'll be freely available from there. So if you've got Amazon Prime, it's probably quite likely you'll be in one of the earlier cohorts that we send out to.
Right, so if you've got Amazon Prime tomorrow, you won't instantly get Amazon Alexa Plus.
Unless you go out and purchase a new device, and then it'll be available, but all of you are very lucky. I understand you've shared your Alexa account details, so each of you will be amongst the very first to get to experience Alexa Plus.
So can also, I don't know if you asked us about if you already have a device, you need to buy a new one. Something that we're very happy with. We worked hard to make as many old devices compatible with Alexa Plus. So I think it's more than 90% of active users in Australia already have at least one device that works with Alexa Plus. And basically, excluding the very first generation we saw in 2018, everything else will work with Alexa Plus.
94% of at least one device compatible.
Yes.
Hi. How does it work with setting up different user profiles? If you have, say, specific preferences about the food that you like, but someone else in your family doesn't like that food, can you set up separate people?
Do you want to take this one, Blake? We haven't heard from you.
Yeah, sure. So with Alexa, I can set up profiles, and each profile can have a different set of memories. And so memory works two ways. There's explicit memory. So when you tell Alexa, hey, remember that, I like, I'm vegan or something like that, some sort of dietary preference. And then Alexa also learns about you implicitly as well. And you have full control of those memories when you go into our apps. You can see everything Alexa knows about you. But yeah, you can absolutely have different sets of memory per profile. So if you're in a multi-person household, each have a profile, each of those can have unique set of memories.
And does it recognize who's talking to it?
Yeah, so there's two ways Alexa can recognize you. Voice profile, so you create a profile of your voice, so when you speak, Alexa knows who you are. And then also some of our devices support visual ID, so when you can actually involve your face, but those biometrics are stored on the device. So yeah.
Yes, I was going to add this part because you can have profiles, but you have to help Alexa to recognize. You have to ask Alexa to recognize my kids or my wife or that. And then Alexa will learn also implicitly if you have a profile, so knows that if my son asks for certain music, that is his taste and not mine, and doesn't confuse the two things. And then you can add other memories about other people. I have friends that come at least once a week over, and they are gluten intolerant. So I told Alexa, remember that Ricardo and Danny are gluten intolerant. And every time they come and ask for recommendations, she remembers that even if she doesn't know who they are.
Just like Uncle Chris. I just want to check, can everybody in the back row hear okay?
Yeah, close.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I have a 6-year-old and 4-year-old, and I think they'd have a lot of fun with Alexa ordering things online. How far through to the payment process can it go, and how do I stop them jailbreaking Alexa Plus?
So as a parent also of children who like to try and buy things all the time, there's been a voice pin which has been part of Alexa from the start to help prevent these things. So you can set up a voice pin, and in order to get to the payment or the checkout process, you will have to add that voice pin. So that was probably the first thing that I put into place at home, and definitely recommend that for anybody with children or with somebody else in the house who likes to purchase things that perhaps you don't need.
Thank you.
Thanks. Just quickly off the back of that, how does the voice pin work for the uninitiated? Is it like sensing your voice, or is it a number?
Yeah, so it's something that you set up in the app, and you will have to say with your voice the number, and then the number is checked in the back end. If it's correct, you'll be able to proceed to the next step. And if it's not, it'll say that it's not, and yeah.
again will come down. Just in terms of like the conversational element and its memory, so you can ask Alexa Plus to remember certain things and then it will save it. If you don't explicitly ask it to remember something, what time span can it remember a conversation? Like say you're talking about something in the morning, you come home from work, can you pick up without basically reintroducing the concept of whatever you were asking her about, or would you have to then sort of start from scratch? Do you want to take this one again, or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so of course we have this thing called context carryover, and so that enables you to continue picking up the topics you're speaking about. And also if you want to use a different device in that sort of session, it will pick up those. But I would say, you know, if you've had a conversation in the morning, there's certain things Alexa will remember about that conversation, but there may be some things that you will have to, you know, potentially, you know, bring up again, so she's familiar with that.
And just on shopping as well, so in the demo we're looking at like, you know, buying a new blender. Will Alexa Plus only look at Amazon for shopping, or it, like say if it finds a cheaper price in JB Hi-Fi, will it surface that?
For now, it looks at Amazon.com, but it looks at the entire selection where there's millions of 3P sellers as well. And so it offers the vastest selection available.
Thank you. Obviously, the memory settings within Alexa Plus can be incredibly helpful and useful to anyone. How can you ensure that customers' data and privacy is well protected, obviously with the memory? Are there any concerns around that?
I can take a first step and then feel free to add. So that has been a big part of creating even the original Alexa. We were the first company to offer customers the ability to put a microphone in their homes. And we knew that it would come with big responsibility towards protecting their data, their privacy. So we built Alexa since the very first day in a way where it was very transparent what Alexa was eventually listening, sending to the cloud, and gave customer control of what they wanted to keep, to cancel all that. I mean that since the very first Echo we launched, customer could have always seen in the app everything that was sent to the cloud, could delete one by one, could delete them all, could set preferences to delete every 6 months, or multiple options. Things such as the blue light that let customers know when Alexa is listening, when it's not, is very important. The fact that when Alexa is not listening, the wake word engine only captures a sound and not words or meaning. So there's not active listening unless you see that one. It's only the sound of Alexa, the sound of a wake word. You can train on multiple sounds, but it's a pure sound. It's not actually any word processing behind that one. And therefore, you know, not something new to us. We right now when customers think about AI and responsible AI, they think a lot about this last generation of generative AI and large language models. But Alexa has been built on AI technologies since the beginning: machine learning, natural language understanding models, speech recognition models, all that. And since the beginning, we developed this responsible AI to make sure that customers had visibility and control. I don't know if there's anything specific you wanted to.
No, so just a reminder that we've also got the Alexa Privacy Hub. So not only with, as Michele mentioned, the voice history, you can also go in and so the notes or the things that Alexa remembers about that you've shared with her. For example, my kids are sort of growing very rapidly at the moment. I've been using it to share rules for shoe sizes, so I can go in there as they go up to the next shoe size and I go and spend another load of money at the shoe store with the latest shoe size, and you can archive that. And the same with documents. You can also delete documents that are that you've uploaded previously that you no longer need the information from. So yeah, lots of control in there.
And I suppose obviously it's a very competitive space, sort of using, or a lot of companies all over the world are using generative AI to create technologies such as Alexa Plus. What do you think makes Alexa Plus stand out compared to some maybe competitors?
I think you've seen it today. So Alexa has always been an AI that took action, and from sort of lighting and routines to calendar, and we've just taken that generative AI layer and opened up so much more of that action. So being able to book that restaurant, that was an actual booking that I'll be turning up to on Sunday, and the demos that we had upstairs with the being able to send the email, have the calendar updated, and have Alexa say, hey, you've actually got a clash. Let's work and help you to work out how to resolve that clash, send the email. I think that those are all incredibly unique and areas that sort of you heard a little bit from Blake about the complexity and the challenges that we had to kind of pull all of that together. And yeah, I can't wait to see how you will use them and can actually see that it's beyond kind of that text chat element, and it's actually practical help around your house.
Maybe one thing that I think is very important, it is the best ambient assistant. The ability to control this one only through your voice makes it unique. And in my family, it's particularly important because we try, at least when we have a meal together, not to use our phones so that we are together actually. But then there's a lot of discussion debates that requires some fact checking. You know, who scored the most points between LeBron and KD, Kevin Durant yesterday, or what is the real difference between weird? We had this conversation last week. Are my kids weird or peculiar? What is the difference between weird and peculiar, right? And instead of picking up the phone, that means I'm gonna get distracted by, there's my boss notification, and I'm giving implicit permission to everyone else to do the same. We would use Alexa Plus, and that will give us what we need and then fade in the background, being available without interrupting our moment.
Yeah, Blake, can you go into a little more detail what you're saying about kind of the Australian cultural context that you've kind of added to Alexa Plus?
Yeah, absolutely. So we use a variety of techniques. One of the techniques I shared today is how we embed cultural instructions to make Alexa Plus understand and think Australian. The other sort of thing we do is we have a pretty extensive evaluation process on these models. And so we start to assess how they understand different cultures through a very comprehensive evaluation process. And that enables us to build a strategy with some of these techniques I shared with you today.
Can you go into detail about the evaluation process? Like, how does that?
Yeah, sure. So what we do is we create a series of different metrics. So things that could be like stereotypical could be a type of metric. And these operate as like a judge on the outputs from the model. And that enables us to guide the strategy that I mentioned in the right direction.
Cool. And you said that you couldn't imagine life without your Alexa Plus?
Yeah.
Can you go into details of what you've been using?
I'll tell you an anecdote actually. So in the US, they've got me working pretty hard. And I have a rule where I don't keep my mobile phone in the bedroom. And so when I got into bed one night, I'd been working all day, but you get to that point where you're just not ready to go to sleep just yet. So I picked up my Kindle and I'd actually finished the book I'd read. And I was like, oh damn, I don't know what to read next. And so I thought, let me just ask Alexa. I said, Alexa, can you recommend a book for me? And she said, well, Blake, I know you love historical fiction books, and there's this new historical fiction called The Last Rose of Shanghai. I think you should check it out. Alexa, tell me more about it. Like, what's the reviews? How does it operate? Like, what are people saying about it? She was like, it's huge on Goodreads. It's got like a 4.8, hundreds of thousands of reviews. I think you'll really love it. So I said, okay, let's buy it. So I was able to buy it, and delivered to my Kindle right there in my hand, and I started reading it. And it actually turns out to be one of my favorite books I've ever read. So for me, that was a magical moment. I didn't have to worry about going up and getting my phone. I could read the book, relax, decompress after a long day, and get a new favorite book. So, and it's one of my favorite authors now as well. So I thought that was really cool. It's probably my favorite moment.
Okay, we have time for one more question. If anyone.
What are you going to ask about?
Skills.
One each.
Just in terms of the ecosystem, when Alexa first launched, connecting into different apps and third parties came through skills. Just with the OpenTable example, I imagine it's probably a little bit more complex, and you said Alexa Plus was built from the ground up. So what is the process for interacting with Alexa Plus beyond the Amazon ecosystem?
This is a great question. So this is around sort of how partners now integrate with Alexa to expand the number of sort of services and things that Alexa can do. We've got a number, or a very large number of skills and experiences from smart home all the way to the bigger things like Spotify and Apple Music that continue, and a lot of our radio partners, they continue to work in Alexa Plus today. It should be absolutely seamless. And during early access, we welcome anybody who is using a skill that perhaps we might have missed a migration on to let us know, and we can get that sorted. The main way, obviously, that new partners can integrate with some of these more complex new journeys like Open Table and booking is more API based. You may have also seen that we had a development, there was some development summit announcements last week by Panos and David Dia, and that shared that we were also opening up a new MCP based integration experience. So obviously a lot of these partners that we're working with are all at different stages of their AI development. Some are really, really early. They don't quite know how to take their core product and translate it into something that would be a delightful voice experience. But then in the US, we've seen a large number of partners launch. There's a service booking service similar to, say, High Pages, Uber, there's TripAdvisor, and I'm really excited to share that TripAdvisor will be coming to Australia in the coming months, which we're very excited. We're working on that at the moment. And we'll continue to work with local partners to help them discover their use case if they don't have one yet, and come on board. So stay tuned, we've got a lot to come.
That was literally my question.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.